And now, if I test this step, I should be getting an SMS. The status is queued, and there we go. Just received it. Please respond with your name and email. Your voice agent just said, I'll email you that information after the call. But you and I both know that email is getting ignored, or worse, never arriving. For all the voice agents that we've built for clients, the main limitation we kept hitting was that bridge between voice and text. Well, that problem just got solved with Retell SMS. I'm going to show you exactly what Retell SMS is, walk you through 3 awesome use cases, and then cover everything you need to know about pricing and setup. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this is going to change customer engagement forever. I'm Alejo, co-founder of Amplify Voice, where we specialize in building voice agents for clients in real estate and digital marketing. If you'd like me and my team to build a voice agent system for you, you can submit a project below. And if you're a fellow builder, come join our school community where we really dig into what's important about building and selling voice agents. Today I'm breaking down Retell's brand new SMS feature, and trust me that once you see what this can do, you'll never want to go back to voice-only agents. So what exactly is Retell SMS? Well, now your voice agent can send text messages to customers during an active phone call. You don't need third-party integrations, you don't need any complex workflows, it's just a built-in function. What makes this powerful is that instead of saying, yeah, I'll send you some information after the call, your agent can now say, check your phone, I just sent you the details. And for the user experience, that hits completely different. What is the difference? Think about attention economics. SMS cuts straight through the noise. So do you want to compete against the other 50 emails that your user got that day? Or do you want to be in their messages app where they'll be able to see it multiple times? Use case number 1 is effective meeting confirmations. After booking an appointment, your agent automatically sends all meeting details through SMS. This eliminates the manual follow-up emails and the anxiety of wondering if the customers even receive the details. For those cases, your send SMS function might look a little bit like this. Use this tool when the meeting gets confirmed, and the content of the SMS will contain all the meeting details and how to prepare for the meeting. In this case, you can see that the SMS content would be a prompt as opposed to a static sentence. But sometimes we would want to use a static sentence, which brings me to use case number 2. This is what we call value bomb follow-ups. Let's say you're a real estate agent, you have a voice agent set up, and someone calls asking about buying their first home. Your voice agent has a conversation, helps them out, gets them educated, and then also, when the user agrees to receiving more information, we can send them an SMS saying something like, here's your first time home buyer's guide, check it out before your meeting with real estate agent names. So we can also insert variable names into these text messages. And that would be a static sentence, but maybe they call about mortgage rates. So we can go back to prompt and we can make this dynamic based on what they asked about. We can say, here's your first-time home buyer's guide / mortgage rate calculator. Check it out before your meeting with name. And then the agent can insert that URL dynamically. All you would do is within your prompt, you would have your prompt, and then inside of specifics or available functions, you would say, hey, here's the resource URL for the first-time home buyer's guide, for the mortgage rate calculator, and then the agent would know when to use each one based on the context of the conversation. Very effective at turning conversations into clients. And now my favorite use case number 3, which is perfect transcription. What does SMS have to do with transcription? Well, if we can ask the user for their name and email as opposed to annoying them by having them spell it out, we are guaranteeing 100% perfect transcription and avoiding those painful back and forths. So you would simply say something like, please respond with your full name and email, all during the call. But wait, how do you actually capture that response? But the setup is a bit different because with the Retell SMS function, we can send messages but not receive them. They are working on a chatbot that I'll make a video about soon. But in reality, if all you need is their name and email, you don't need a full chatbot for that. So let me make it very easy for you. We're going to actually create a different function, call it the exact same. So go to custom function, send SMS, same description. Use this tool to ask the user for their name and email. And everything else we're going to keep the same except the URL. Where we're going to get this is N8N. Now in a new N8N scenario, I'm going to set up a webhook in order to activate this function. We're going to change this to a post request. And when I click on the production URL, it'll copy it and I can just paste it right here. Everything else will stay the same. We can just save. Now we have our own SMS function that will communicate with N8N. That was step 1. Step 2 is that instead of using one of the Retell numbers, we're going to actually buy a number through Twilio. So you can go to buy a number, click buy, and what it's going to ask you for is an A2P registration in order to be able to send SMSs. This is the exact same process that you're going to go through in Retell, and I made a whole video about how to do exactly that. I'm going to link the video above, but just keep in mind the same setup that you have in Retell is the same setup that you'll do in Twilio for A2P. After you get registered, you'll be able to send these SMSs. So we're going to buy, we're going to head to active numbers, and then in this configure tab, we're going to scroll to the bottom through voice and messaging configuration. You can start your A2P registration here, and once that's done, you'll be able to use your number in N8N. So we're going to send an SMS. We're going to connect our credentials, which is super easy. In your main dashboard in Twilio, you'll be able to see account SID and auth token. You're going to copy both of them and put them here. That is step 3. Now, step 4, we're going to choose SMS. Operation is send. We're sending an SMS. From the number that we did the A2P registration for, we're going to do +1, remove all the symbols. To number, we're going to leave blank for now. And the message that we want to send is please respond with your full name and email. That is step 4. And we're still missing a piece of information. So now we move on to step 5, which for any N8N scenario that you're connecting to a voice agent, what we need to do is test it from the voice agent, where we're going to receive some data, and that's where we're going to get this number from. So just deactivate the module that is not working. You can click activate. And I'm going to go to Retell, click publish with the function already activated, and choose one of the numbers. Now I can publish, and I'm going to call the number that the voice agent is now attached to. It doesn't necessarily need to be your Twilio number. This is just the voice agent's number. Okay, I'm calling and picked up. Hi, hey, could you send me the SMS? There we go. Now in N8N, you see that I just received the execution. That's great. So we're going to copy this to editor. We want the data inside of here. Particularly what we want is the phone number. This one, bam. Because in this case, it was an inbound call. The user was calling us from this number. So how do we plug that in? Very easy. We will copy to editor. This data will get pinned, meaning for the next module, we'll be able to use that data. We'll reactivate that Twilio module. We will find a from number. In this case, it was a inbound call. So from this number. Okay, that's the user number. And now if I test this step, I should be getting an SMS. The status is queued, and there we go. Just received it. Please respond with your name and email. And that is step 5. When I do respond, how does my server receive that information? So let's move on to step 6, which is receiving that response from the user with their name and email. So we're setting up a new webhook. We're calling it receive SMS reply. We're gonna do a post request, and in the production URL, we're gonna go back to our Twilio to that number configuration, scroll to the very bottom, and ignore everything else, because all you need to know is that we will change this URL to that one. So when a message comes in, we will send it through to our N8N scenario. We will save configuration. And now I'm gonna reply to that SMS I just got. Before I reply, I have to save again. So this gets saved. Let's go to executions. There we go. I replied. Let's see. Okay, the SMS just came in. And let's see, receive SMS reply. We're gonna do that same thing, the copy to editor. And now we're gonna pin that data. What comes next is using a very nifty tool within N8N, which is called information extractor. So we're gonna have an LLM read that SMS and extract the information that we care about. So we go to schema and we find where I did the reply. In this case, it's body. So the text is gonna be that body, and I just reply with my name and my email. For the schema type, we're gonna choose generate from JSON example. And what we want is the first name, the last name, and the email address. Okay, awesome. So let's give it the example. It's Alejo, P1, and my email. And just with this example, it's gonna be able to identify from any text message that it receives the data that it needs to extract from it. Then we just plug in a model. In this case, let's just go with GPT 4.1. And now we're set. The reason we pin this data is so we can grab these variables, and now we can run it and check that our output is what we expected. First name Alejo, last name Pijuan, email is email. And that is step 6. And now comes the fun part, which is, what do you want to do with this information? We can save it in Airtable by creating a record with that information. We can also say, we can send another text message with a value bomb. We can send a follow-up email now that we have their perfect email address without any transcription issues, or all of them at the same time. Finally, I want to leave you with 2 opportunities for this SMS flow that you can explore if they are relevant to you. Number 1 is that if you have a voice agent that is both inbound and outbound, instead of messing with the from number or to number, you can just say here, user number is a string, and it's going to just be the dynamic variable that Retell gives us for capturing the user number. We would say required is user number, bam. And number 2, what if you want your voice agent to grab that information from the reply of the text message later during the call? And you can have the same exact thing. You can have a webhook that acts as a function for your voice agent. And then in Airtable or any other database, instead of creating a record, we would get that record. Based on what? Well, the user's phone number. So the same way we create any other custom function, this one's called get user information, and now you know how to do the rest. And remember, you'll be able to get this whole scenario in our school community, and even better, during our live calls, you'll be able to modify it to whatever works for you. So I'll be there helping you modify the scenario for your use case. So come join us. So there you have it. Retell SMS is here, and it's solving 3 massive challenges: perfect data capture, instant value delivery, and reliable appointment confirmations. The days of I'll send you some information after the call are over. Your voice agent can now deliver value immediately, creating experiences for users that are actually engaging. And just a quick note on pricing: if you do get the SMS feature through Retell instead of Twilio, you'll be paying $20 a month for that feature plus 1 cent per SMS. If you do it all through Twilio without this embedded feature, then you just save the $20 a month, but you're still paying 1 cent per SMS. Also, there's a total of about $19 in standard fees for applying for getting your SMS campaign approved. If you want more details on the application and all the steps that it takes, you can go through the documentation. I'll leave this link in the description as well. If you see the value of giving the power of texting to voice agents, join our school community so you can take it to the next level, and we'll be there to help you. And if you want me to adapt this for your systems, there's also a work with me link below where you can submit a project and work with me directly. I am curious, what is the first use case that you're going to implement Retell SMS for? Drop the comments below. I read and reply to every single message, and I'm excited to see what you build. My name is Alejo, and remember to never stop prompting.